Good morning, everybody. It's indeed a pleasure to join the launch of the St. Kitts-Nevis-Anguilla National Bank Youth Voices Initiative, as this initiative gives a platform to empower grade 6 students to research and critically reflect on the timely theme, AI and Education, inspired by the 2025 International Day of Education. Acknowledging AI's transformative influence, our Ministry of Education is actively discussing the development of our own AI policy. Therefore, the Ministry of Education is deeply appreciative to the National Bank's foresight in fostering public speaking skills and selecting this critical topic, as AI is no longer a future concept, but a present reality shaping our world. I envisage that the Youth Voices Initiative will be more than developing communication skills, as it will be an exercise that culminates with creative thinking, digital literacy, and self-awareness, which are vital in navigating the modern world. I strongly encourage the National Bank to make this type of initiative a cornerstone of their community engagement agenda. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, I want to extend my best wishes to all the participating students. May your valuable insights, the information that you would have gleaned from these discussions, help us in making our decisions on the use of AI. Finally, the Ministry of Education wishes to thank the National Bank for its investment in our youth and looks forward to continued partnership in advancing education in St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morris, Chief Education Officer of the St. Kitts Ministry of Education. We will now invite Mrs. Angela Matthew to let us know how they went about choosing these students to enter into the final event.
Good morning, all. I am Mrs. Angela Matthew, focal point at the Ministry of Education for the AI competition. For this competition, the students were placed in zones, and they were given questions of which they were to choose one. Teachers were encouraged to upload a video presentation of the students. Also, some judges were put in place to judge the students' presentation. The students were judged on content, clarity, elocution, persuasion. And from this judging, we were able to have our finalists. They are Halliday Smith Primary School, Joshua Obadiah, Sandy Point Primary, and Terry Williams Primary. Put your hands together for the finalists.
Okay, so thank you, Mrs. Matthew. Those were the finalists for St. Kitts, so let's give them a round of applause again. We will now hear from Ms. Londa Brown, the Principal Education Officer in Nevis Island Administration.
I am Londa Brown, the Principal Education Officer at the Department of Education in Nevis. And in Nevis, we took a slightly different approach to this competition. We loved the idea of the Youth Voices panel, and we wanted to ensure that we are participating in this event. We would have shared out the information to all our schools, and we would have allowed them to look over the information and allowed them to volunteer to participate in the competition. And so what we have here is a representative of schools from basically the two halves of Nevis, split it down the middle, and we have one school from one half and one school from the other half. And so those schools are the Ivor Walters Primary School and the Violet O. Jeffers Nichols Primary Schools. Ivor Walters is represented by Ms. Sharika Detouche, And VOJN, Violet O. Jeffers Nichols, is represented by Adwaith Swami Nathan. I hope I got his name correctly. And so we are so proud to have them represent us in this competition this year.
Thank you, Ms. Londa Brown, Principal Education Officer for Nevis Island Administration. So we will now ask the finalists to tell us their names and the schools that they are representing. So we'll start here and we'll pass the mic down. So,
my name is Sherry Salatouche and I am representing the Ivor Walters Primary School.
My name is Advait Swaminathan and I am representing the Violet O. Jeffers Nicholas Primary School.
My name is Lakshmi Havidat and I am representing the Halliday Smith Primary School.
My name is Lorenza Berry and I am representing the Joshua Obdale William Primary School.
My name is Desiree Harris and I am representing the Sandy Point Primary School.
My name is Kizara Evans and I am proudly representing the Tyrrell Williams Primary School, home of the Dragons.
thank you and congratulations again for making it to the finals. Okay, so the Youth Voices panel will be held on the April the 29th and it will be aired live. The event will be divided into two segments. Segment 1 will be a prepared presentation and segment 2 will be a defense discussions. Students will now do their number picking and they will pick their numbers from this box, and when they pick their numbers will correspond with a box which would have the order that they will be going in at the event and their debate question. Okay, so we'll now start. Hold on. Now ask the students to open their papers that will reveal who will be going first. Okay, so we will ask them to open their boxes and read their questions.
AI is becoming a part of schools worldwide. Should AI have a major role in education, or is it a threat to traditional learning?
Okay, so she will be arguing for this question.
So you just state one. You just state one again.
Okay, so number 2 will have the same question, but she will be arguing against. Okay, so these two will be opposing. So number 3.
AI makes learning more interactive, but can it truly replace traditional teaching methods, or will it make learning too dependent on technology?
For. Yes. So he is arguing for, and number 4 will argue against the same question.
Can AI truly replace the role of human teachers and classmates, or will losing real human connections negatively affect learning? For.
Okay, so she has for, and number 6 will have against for the same question. So the panel will be divided into two segments. The prepared presentation segment, which will be number 1, and segment 2 will be defense discussions. Okay. Each student will deliver a 3-minute prepared presentation on their selected question. The first person will present for the argument, followed by the second speaker presenting against the argument. In this segment 2, students will engage in a structured discussion defense where they will have the opportunity to challenge their peers' stance on the given topic. For us to support the children, we would have collaborated with Scanaipa and Sugar City Toastmasters to offer guidance on public speaking and to help prepare them for this event. So we will have a few words from Disan Newman from Scanaipa to just to give some brief remarks on their involvement in the event and how they intend to prepare the students.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Deshaun Newman. I am an executive member of the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association, currently serving as the Assistant General Secretary. I am joined by the chairperson of the volunteer committee, Mr. Bickel Edwards Douglas. He also serves as the protocol officer within Scanaipa. The volunteer committee is the committee that is spearheading this event, this partnership between Scanaipa and the Youth Voices Panel. I'm also joined by the immediate past president, Mr. Morrell Knight. He also serves as the plenipotentiary to the NYPAAB. Before I say Scanaipa's role, I must introduce Scanaipa. Scanaipa is a non-profit, youth-led, youth-serving, youth-owned organization. A non-profit and a non-partisan means that we don't associate with any political parties. It keeps the voice of the young people unbiased. We fights for the free involvement of youth in nation building. So Scanaipa is a youth-owned, youth-operated, non-profit, stressing on the non-profit organization. Our role in this initiative, it would be serving as mentors and mentees. So we'll be using the expertise that we have learned, that we have taught ourselves over time, to try to help the students and aid the students in their presentation to the event. We'll also, some of our seasoned members will also be serving as judges to judge the event. That's the role of the Scanaipa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Deshaun Newman. We will now hear from Sugar City Toastmasters, Ashazan Matthew.
Thank you. I am Ashazan Matthew. With me, I have my colleague, Cecilia St. Louis, who is the Vice President of Membership. I represent Sugar City Toastmasters in the capacity of President. And of course, it's a great responsibility and opportunity to shoulder this opportunity with youth development and Scanaipa in supporting the youth in such a time of change and precipice time in our era, which is very dynamic. The youths being participating in the AI, artificial intelligence, in this era will provide the support where the youth will learn how to not just choose a topic, but also craft very excellent speeches, convey the message and connect with the audience. As it is understood, they will be arguing for and against, so therefore they will also need to practice delivery, and that's the new use of also body language, strong body language to deliver that successfully. Also, a part of the Sugar City Toastmasters, feedback is important. So that is a skill that they will also develop. They'll learn to evaluate their opponent's speech and be able to counter-argue that particular speech. So that will be our support with the youth development in this initiative. And again, I express it's a great, great opportunity to be a part.
Okay, so thank you, Ashazan Matthew. So we are going to peer one member from each of these non-profit organizations, Scanaipa and Sugar City Toastmasters, with a student. So each student would have the individual support of one of these members that will assist them in their preparations for the event. So we will now have some closing remarks from Diana Williams-Humphrey, the General Manager of National Caribbean Insurance.
Thank you very much, Javel. Good day to everyone. Good day, students. It's all about you today. The National Bank Group of Companies is indeed honored to be a part of this occasion this very significant occasion, I believe, in our Federation's history, the Youth Voices Panel. As part of our corporate social responsibility, we believe that it is important to develop the young people of our Federation. If we invest now in the young people of our Federation, it augurs well for us as a people going forward. So I want to say congratulations to all of you that have been selected. I've had the opportunity to interact with the children a little bit. Miss Lashmi from the Halliday Smith Primary School. We have the young lady from Tyrrell Williams Primary, Miss Evans, Kizara Evans, and we have from the Sandy Point Primary School, you don't have to tell me, Mr. Harris from the Sandy Point Primary School. And we have coming out of Nevis, the winning inter-primary champions, right? From the Ivor Walters Primary, and that's Miss Latouche. Miss Latouche from the Ivor Walters Primary. And we have from the Joshua Obadiah Williams Primary, Miss Berry. And from the Violet O. Jeffers Nichols Primary, Adveth. Did I get it right, Adveth? Advice. Okay, we got it correct. These 6 young people will be participating in a very important endeavor. In this day and age where AI is so much a hot topic, you have the chat GPTs, and we're wondering, will these things eventually replace the physical teachers we have in the classrooms? Now, this is a very important discussion that we are going to be having, and it's critical that it's being led by the youth, the future. On the 29th of April, I'm inviting everyone to be tuned in to this very important endeavor. I want to convey, National Bank Group of Companies would like to convey our thanks to the Ministries of Education. We have Mr. Francil Morris, the Chief Education Officer from the Ministry of Education, St. Kitts, and he's ably supported by Miss Angela Matthew, the focal point person for this particular initiative. And then we go over to the sister island of Nevis, and we have my good friend Londa Brown here from the Nevis Island Administration. She's the Principal Education Officer, and we thank you. We thank you for your support of this initiative. And of course, we could not have done it without our partners, our NGOs. We have with us Skanipa, a very active youth organization in St. Kitts, the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association. Thank you for your support. We have Sugar City Toastmasters. Thank you as well. This is an investment you're making in our future, and we want to say thank you. We want to finally commend all of you. How can I forget? I want to commend the teachers who are supporting this initiative. And I want the teachers to come forward, because quite often we forget that they are a key component in preparing our nation's children. I see Miss Sasha Leader. Sasha Warner Leader from the Sandy Point Primary School. I think I saw Miss Suzette Cannonier there from the Joshua Obadiah Primary School. I also saw, stand next to you, student man. I also saw Chanel Byron Cassius from the Halliday Smith Primary School. Samantha Pedro, and she's from Tyrrell, home of the Dragons. We have, who else we have out there? Who am I missing? Miss Brown from the Ivor Walters Primary. And we have Advith. Unfortunately, because of the transportation issues, his teacher missed the boat. But we have Miss Brown representing Advith here. Okay? So let's give a round of applause to the teachers and the students. You make it possible. And once again, I want to say thank you. Thank you for partnering with the National Bank Group of Companies. And I will see you on April 29th.